British town hall, seat of local government. Reliable, dependable, perhaps a little bit dull. This is the place that calculates your council taxes, organises your wheelie bin collection. If you come here, if you bother to come here, it's probably to do nothing more sinister than renew your parking permit. But what if the town hall were more sinister? What if you could be arrested and held without charge, tortured, interrogated, forced to cool off in the basement cells? So Richard, we're in Brighton Town Hall. Why?
Well, this is where we're doing our site-specific performance of The New World Order, Harold Pinter, for Brighton Festival. And we created this show in this amazing Victorian town hall, which is still the working town hall for Brighton and Hove. And it's a great venue for us because it combines the public splendour of the council chamber and the debating chamber with some rather murkier squalor in the old police cells which exist below where we're standing now.
The New World Order by Brighton company Hydrocracker takes you on a journey deep into those cells. It's a collage of 5 plays by Harold Pinter, reassembled into a piece of site-specific theatre that you literally walk through. So how did it come together? I ventured downstairs to find out.
Yeah, this was the police station in Brighton until 1967.
The actual police station?
Yeah, so when you think about mods and rockers, that's where they were trying to cope with all that from here. So it's got that history, it's been largely untouched, and as you can see, it's largely in its Victorian state. And we've got a fantastic sound designer and lighting designer, and they make this world very extraordinary down here. Realistic, but heightened.
So in a way, what you're trying to do is sort of mine the foundations of the text in a way, you know, pick out the sort of things that are going on right deep within it.
Yes, and I think, again, it's a very different thing to watching it in a theatre at a remove on a stage far away from you with, I'm sure, great acting. What we're trying to do is mix really up-close, great acting, real attention to text and detail, and put it in this site-specific venue where the audience get a visceral experience of what would it be like to be in that world.
Big thing about Hydrocracker is take existing texts and put them in new spaces. Now, I think that's important. The only point of doing that is if it will make the text speak stronger and louder and clearer. If it's better off in a theatre, do it in a theatre.
Down here, the audience will be experiencing the scenes from New World Order and a scene from One for the Road 3, both of which are torture scenes, really. They're probably the worst scenes in the show, and they're in the most atmospheric rooms. The audience are inside this particular room with 2 torturers and a hooded man, and they're up close and personal, which I hope means that the intensity of the experience is magnified to a great degree.
By staging in a theatre where the audience sits in the dark and watches the actors perform it, the lights come up, we clap, and we can all go home and say, isn't it terrible those sort of things happen in Chile? Which of course it is. I'm not saying that isn't the case. But by doing it site-specifically, here we are in Brighton Town Hall, we've been in the lofty council chambers, now we're here in the basement. And in these scenes here, this is where we see the functionaries of the New World Order, the people who do the dirty work.
It's really exciting to direct in a space like this. The building gives the designer, you already have a set for you, really. So the rooms, and in fact, the play came about, the rooms gave us ideas for which plays we would do, and then which scenes from those plays in which rooms. So very much it was an organic process and very much based on the building in the very first place. The idea of moving the audience around is also a wonderful thing to be able to do in a building because it feels more like reality. And the theory behind the whole piece really is that these things are happening and we don't really look at them. And if they were actually happening to us and we could actually see them up close and personal, I think our audience would be galvanised to do something about them.
What's it like acting with the audience so close to you? I mean, you must be eyeball to eyeball, pretty much.
Yes, it is great from an actor's point of view, of course, because you can actually be very truthful in these scenes because you don't have to project it out. And you also, as an actor, get great sense of place from the environment that we're in. And every performance will be different because the audience will respond, react, move differently, so you can never get into automatic pilot, which, as every actor knows, is kind of what you want, to be present and engaged, and it does a lot of that for you.
It must be kind of eerie down here after hours.
Yes, in fact, we were just talking to some of the guides for the Police Cells Museum down here, who claim there are 3 ghosts that can be seen on a regular basis. And they also claim there are rats down here. I think I'd rather see the ghost than the rat.